A lot of times women actually are not allowing themselves to really go for it. I often see this in the entrepreneur businesswoman space, which is that they aren't allowing themselves to be as bold as they actually are, to launch as many offers as they want to launch, to sell as much as they want to sell. And so they pull back and then they get depressed and anxious and they wonder why. And it's like, you actually weren't doing enough. I am at my highest when I'm doing a lot, and not doing a lot in a bad way, but when my creativity is on fire. We have a saying inside of Freedom Queen, which is never underestimate the power of a woman with her soul on fire. The more on fire your soul is, the more other people are going to feel connected to you and your soul being on fire, because at the end of the day, that's what people are attracted to the most. Have you ever seen who sells the most? It's the woman with the most on fire soul. You can feel it in her essence. You can feel it in her power. It's like her soul is on fire. She's going for it. She's taking the next step in her life. And so you have to ask yourself, what sets your soul on fire? Is it selling more every day? Is it dropping more offers? Is it creating another mastermind? So many women get caught up in like, well, should I drop another mastermind thing? Who cares? Drop the offer, sell the offer, create the thing, deliver in the thing that you want to be delivering on, and watch how much more money you're going to be making. Because it's not about, do you need to drop an 8-week mastermind, a 12-week mastermind, a 6-month mastermind? You need to take the action to get the result that you're looking for. And you need to be in alignment with what actually lights you up. So I remember different seasons of my business where I felt like I wanted to go bigger. And maybe you're there right now. You're in a season in your business where your soul is craving you to go to another level of power, of income, of influence. And I want this to be your permission slip that you can do more if that's actually what activates you. That if selling more offers, if posting more content, if putting up more Instagram story slides activates you, then that's what you need to go forward with. If doing less actually makes you depressed, and you have bought into this very bizarre narrative in the online world that like, oh, you need to do less, blah, blah, blah. If that actually makes you depressed, then you're not actually operating as a leader of your life. Because when you're the leader of your life, you know exactly what lights you up, you know what makes you happy, and you do those things full stop. You're not interested in doing what other people are doing. You are leading your business and your life the way you want to be leading it. You're selling the way you want to be selling. And so right now, I see this a lot. People will make content and then somebody will come into my inbox. They're new to hiring me, of course. And they'll say something like, but I saw that Sally said in her content. Who cares what Sally said in her content? I do not consume people's content. I do not listen to what people post on the internet. I do not consume and read through it and think, oh, that's valid. Half the time when I consume people's content, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I completely disagree with that. 90% of the time. And people are taking people's content so verbatim and like consuming that they have forgotten that the number one thing that makes you the most amount of money is when your soul is on fire and you are in your own lane and you are unbothered and you're not consuming people's content, you're creating the most content and you are going. And what happens is people get in this seasonally. So they'll be in this season of like, I'm going for it. And then all of a sudden they're not in it. It's like, well, what happened? Well, you probably got off your pathway. Well, the coaching program probably ended and you bailed. Rather than re-signing and saying yes to being in mentorship for a longer period of time, they bailed and they went and did something else. They're in mentorship that's not expanding them. They're in mentorship that's like, they could be making more money than that mentor. That person should be hiring them. versus actually getting inside of the rooms that you know are going to expand you long term, not short sprints. Short sprints are good and they matter sometimes, but long term is so important for keeping your soul on fire on an ongoing basis to the point where you feel constantly activated, constantly inspired. You can plug in every day and say, I'm going to be activated now. I'm going to be inspired now. I'm going to be motivated here. I'm going to be moved here. And most importantly, you're going to be mirrored back who you really are. And so my question for you is, are you actually operating out of your zone of genius when it comes to sales, marketing, and growing your company? Are you operating out of your zone of genius? Meaning, are you doing what you know you're meant to do, selling in the way you love to sell, or are you subscribed to some idea that you have to do it in this way? When we identify what your unique way is, you will make so much money. You will blow it up because now you're actually operating in your truest magnetism, in the amount of money that only you can be making, and you're going to do it through your own unique way, and you're going to set yourself free. So inside of Send It season, this is your season, your moment to become the woman who actually sends it in the way that only she can send it. And as a byproduct, you are going to become so wealthy, so rich, so hot, so happy, so sexy, because you decided to set yourself free and do it your own way. Okay, Freedom Queen, I'll see you in the next one.